Hello, I'm back from outer space after 2 weeks away from any kind of video or creation project. I took some time to focus on one of my manuscripts, which I plan to submit by the end of this month to a publisher. I've just finished doing another top to bottom run-through edit. I'm actually really happy with where the manuscript is right now, but I wanted to strengthen a few places and obviously just do another read through, all that good stuff. So I was giving myself 100% to that editing process, and I am going back to the beginning and going through it again, but with a little less intensity so I could free up some time to do something creative. And boy am I excited for this one. For those who don't know, I am a major Star Wars fan. From loving the prequels right from day one to replaying the Knights of the Old Republic games over and over again, even though the story is the same every single time because I just can't bring myself to play a dark side character. I've tried once or twice and I just can't do it. I just give money to the beggars and won't kill that person even though they were just trying to kill me. We're getting sidetracked. The point is, Bo-Katan. Meeting Bo-Katan in the Clone Wars animated series was so cool. It was awesome to have some development of the Mandalorian lore after having a little taste of it from the Knights of the Old Republic game. She was such a great character, and then when she reappeared in The Mandalorian, plus being played by the same actor who voiced her in the series, so satisfying. So far, Bo-Katan has had a lot of involvement in season 3 of The Mandalorian. We've had some awesome close-ups of her helmet and armour, which by the second episode I was like, I need to make that. The reason I'm going for Bo-Katan's helmet and not Din's is because Din's has that really polished Beskar, which I just wouldn't be able to achieve without the right kind of equipment, especially an airbrushing tool for painting. While I'm still going to try and get that really smooth shape and a really polished finish, Bo-Katan's helmet has a little bit more of a matte paint to it and has a lot of chipped details, which will hopefully help cover up any little blemishes or mistakes that I make along the way. The main construction of the helmet is going to be wire mesh with a papier-mâché coating. So I picked up this bird netting wire from Bunnings and had to laugh when reading on the label it says suitable for bird enclosures and craft projects. So much validation in those few little words. Once I have my main shape constructed out of this wire, I will then start applying the papier-mâché layers. I'm going to use a PVA glue with water mixture for the papier-mâché as opposed to the flour version because I don't want it to be attractive to bugs or mold. There are 3 parts of this helmet that I'm concerned about getting right, which are the visor bits. The problem is, because I so desperately want this helmet to be wearable, I need to be able to see. I have a few ideas of what I could do to try and make that happen, but we'll talk about those when we get up to that part of the project. The other part I'm worried about is the cheek section where there is really defined edges. I need to get that sort of sunken cheek look without it looking like someone pulling a duck face. And the last detail that I'm not too sure about is the little sections on the side, one of which has the little scope thingy on a stick, which I'm probably not going to be able to make some kind of pivoting thing. It'll just be upright, but it's also the little casing kind of pieces on the sides. I'm not sure if I should papier-mâché those or try to make them out of something else and stick on afterwards. Again, we'll get to that when we get to that. So, without any more delays, let's start taking some measurements and wrangling some wire. But first, hold on. Perfection. Made a terrible mistake. I have my first piece of wire cut out. I thought I was going to make it all one piece, but I think what's going to work better is having a almost cylinder shape around the face and then a dome piece to go on top, and make separate pieces for that little cut in. For now, I'm going to attach the two ends and then start working on the dome piece. So I let this wire sit around the bowl for about an hour, trying to get it to just lose the shape that it had from being coiled up. Let's see if it worked. No, it's definitely less tight than what it was before. So I will need to go around and, you know, really get it into the shape that I want it to be in, but it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle fighting this wire. But what I am really happy with is the top. Now what I'm going to do is figure out how high I need this section to be to go from where this sits to being just below my chin. I'm going to make it just that little bit bigger than I think it needs to be, because if I need to, then I could make it a bit smaller later, but if I don't make it too big now, then I can't do that later. You get me? This is going to look really stupid for a minute, but because the wire keeps getting caught in my hair, I'm actually going to put the bowl on my head first and then put this on. I probably look like one of those crazy people that wear the aluminium hats thinking it's stopping the aliens from downloading their consciousness or whatever the reason is. Is this actually already a good length? I can't tell. It looks massive when I just have it like this. This bit doesn't get stuck to my hair as badly, so. It's called fashion, look it up. It's on my head. I think what I need to do is shape the face part of the helmet before I attach the dome roof. But that being said, I need to know where it's going to sit on my face to know where to cut out the eye and the cheek shape. So scratch that, I am going to attach the lid first. Here goes nothing. Why don't I learn? Drastic measures are required. Good morning. It is day 2. We're gonna steamroll right on ahead. I have 2 blisters from yesterday from using the pliers, so that's gonna be fun. Yesterday I started cutting out the hole for the eye shape. I still need to cut down the middle here, and then I can add the cheek section. I'm going to make those indented cheek pieces out of a separate piece of wire, then cut the hole in the cheek to place them. After that, I'll go over the whole metal framework to make sure it's all sitting where I want it to, and then hopefully today I can do the first layer of papier-mâché. Woo! Once you get to that point, you're committed, so I'm a bit nervous about that one. But anyway, let's get going. Yesterday I did this really quick sketch of Bo-Katan's face mask paint stuff just so I could get the shape of the visor right and hopefully get it in proportion to the size of the helmet that I'm making. So I also drew on the cheek pieces to hopefully get the dimensions right. The cheek pieces are in. I don't think I can delay any longer, and I just have to get on with the papier-mâché because otherwise I will keep on tweaking it, trying to make it perfect before committing to the shape. Because of the cut in the front, it does want to sit open more than I want it to, so I might put a little bit of wire just to hold it in the correct shape while I papier-mâché, and then I can cut it out once it's started drying. I'll mix up some PVA glue and some water together, strip up some newspaper, and start doing it. Just a little bit of cozy newspaper shredding for your listening pleasure. main shape Why? Get off. Don't ruin my good work.